Howdy, folks. How's everybody doing today? How's it going, Bobby, Mike, Dave? Good to see y'all. Oh, excuse me. Wow. Long day. Yeah. Knocked out another couple today. Yeah, so this is, let me see here. Let's see. Working on 47 here, just about finished. So Jason should be happy. Mike, your box is right here. So we're gonna test them both today. I just got to finish neatening up cables and stuff. Let me do a quick test first. Now that I believe I got it all together, let me double. Yeah, all I need to do is last 3 plugs. So I'll give you guys a bird's eye view in a second. Let's see here. I just want to temporarily plug this in, test it, make sure it all runs fine, because there's always something. There's always something. It's a motor running backward, or a there we go. A disconnect, a bad solder. There's always there's a lot that can go wrong once it's, it's like anything else with technology. Once it's correct, it's not going to mess up. But until then. All right, so let me, well, you guys see the thing here. How's everybody doing tonight? I am, let's see. All right, so let us bring my laptop over. Okay, plug this in. We got to do the old motors. There's a blue, there's a red. There's a yellow, and there's a green. So let's hook them up. How's it going, Big D? Hey, good to see you, Eloy. If you're up a little later, I wouldn't mind, I'll send you a link after the show's done if you want to chat, or if you want to do a hangout. Let me know. I haven't talked to you in ages. I've been missing you. How's everything going with you? Eloy is a fellow woodworker. One of the first people I ever met on online in our little group. And oddly enough, he, or ironically enough, coincidentally enough, lives 8 miles from me. So that's pretty cool. All right, so I've got just about all the plugs ready to test this box. And after everything's tested, and by the way, guys, if I don't answer right away, it's because, there's half a minute delay. I've said it before, but just in case you're new here, half a minute delay from StreamYard to YouTube, half a minute delay from YouTube to me. So, it's red, green, and blue. And let's put the wonderful test box here. Yeah, that's good enough. You should be able to see that. All right, let's try the buttons. And, oh, yeah, it helps if I actually turn it on first. And click the reset. Very important. Okay, 1 checks out, 2 checks out, 3 checks out, and 4 checks out. Perfect. Now, let's try the lights. Let's try the output number 1. Oh, I got 10 volts, and I can barely see it because of the, obviously, there you go. You see the red light's lit. You just can't see it because of the this light. So let's go to M4, which should bring up the green. There it is. M5 turns them off. M7, there it is. M8 and M9 shuts them off. Wow, 100%. Now let's try the motors. Let's see how the motors. This is Jason Spiegan's box. So let's see here. Motors. The X. Right. Left. Good. The Y. Right. Yeah. Okay, and the Z. Okay, both Y's need to be reversed because it's in the wrong direction, but we'll take care of that real quick. It's just a matter of flipping a couple wires, folks, so happy to do that. Let's see here. It's always something, you know, always something. All right. Watching you on the big D screen, that's a beautiful thing. Oh. Yeah. And so it's been good. It's been good. So Eloy, I've got a lot of I mean, this is the only thing that's been on my mind. You know how, you know, we're guys, and as guys, we can only contain one thing in our mind, and the only thing I've been able to think about, sad to say, I'm not obsessed with it or anything, but the only thing I've been able to think about as of late, everything else doesn't matter, is the code compliance at Lady Lake. Yeah. I don't know if you heard the story, but what a nightmare. I mean, it's been going on for a couple months, and I've got 4 months to move a container. It's just a darn shame. But it's getting moved. And let's see here. If I'm not mistaken, yes, I am mistaken. That was a mistake. See, that's what happens when you don't pay attention. This is Z. I don't need to reverse these. These are fine. It's the A and the Y that I need to reverse. So there's that one. And then plug that in, back in, and then this one. How's it going, David? Good to see you. Or good to see you in the chat. Yeah, so Eloy, like I said, you know, the only thing that I can think of these days, because it's the only thing, well, obviously when I'm with my family, I don't think of anything but them, but when and work, you know, but you know how guys are, that they can't think of more than one thing at once. I can't multitask. I'll be honest with you. That's why I have a list, and I have a schedule every day that I do, whether it's check on my men or anything else. I have a schedule. So, but as far as in the back of my mind, haunting me, the only thing that I've been able to think of for the past few weeks is the taking care of that container situation, which I took care of it, but it's still, it irks me that I got a neighbor that is a vindictive or a sad. He's well, you know what happens. Yeah, he's 79, and when you get up to that age, you become a kid again. You start doing childish things. You're no longer acting like a professional, no longer acting like an adult. So I don't like that container. It looks bad. I'm going to call code compliance. You know, needless to say, it bugs me. But what the hey? Okay, here we go, guys. Once again, right, left, right. One's missing. Yeah, what happened to the other one? Did I plug it in? Plugged in. Oh, sorry. I was testing the Z. This is the Y. There it is. Right, left. That's the one that was faulty. Right, it is. Left. Okay, perfect. They're all working. It's time to just neaten it all up, and we're good to go. So I got to neaten up all the wires, and then I'll retest. Everything is always tested a number of times. I test them when they get here. I haven't had a single bad motor. I haven't had a single bad driver. I haven't had a single bad power supply. And yeah, it's a darn shame. I don't know. Do you? I mean, are you aware of the story? I mean, I don't know if you guys meet regularly anymore, because I haven't met with anybody in the longest time. I meet with people one-to-one. I meet with Bob. I meet with, I saw Marsh. I see, I have the old Hangouts link, the old Facebook Hangouts link. I pop in there 3 or 4 times a day at different times, and I post it, and people join me. So I see the guys, but I don't see them all in a big group like we used to. I haven't done that since I started making hobby boxes, and since what's his face, since Google, since Chrome started messing around with the not having one fixed. I really miss the fact. That's what's missing is this light. Hang on a second. That's better. The light on my face was missing. Well, not much, but yeah, it's really a pain. So I've got 9 neighbors. I've got 5 immediate neighbors, but 9 neighbors in because 4 of them are across the street, and one's over on the other side of my next door neighbor. And so I've got 9 neighbors that I know and I've talked to and all this. And one of them, I'm not saying which, but one of them is, bottom line is, he's not happy with the container. So rather than reporting to me, he did a cowardly thing. I've said it before, and he basically reported me to code compliance. And I went to building department. I mean, I don't know how much of the story you know, but I went to the building department. The building department, which has nothing to do with code enforcement, but I went to building department for some other questions, and a couple of the people there, they leaned over to me and they go, yeah, because I told them the story of I have to get this, I got this much of a timeline to get this under code. And they said, yeah, that's a neighbor. We don't do that. We don't go out on our own, And it's just like it's similar to the situation that happened in Sweetwater, in Sweetwater, I mean, like for you, if it's out in the lawn and it's what they're looking for, that's what they drive around to look for. But I'm buried behind, well, let's just put it this way. Nobody in their right mind would ever go down the road that leads to my driveway. Or my soon to be driveway. So clearly it's, where did I put my, there it is. So clearly it's a neighbor. I mean, it's obvious. In some rare cases like yours, it might have been, and very likely that it's just the city trying to get money. In this case, It was plain and simple. It was the neighbor that didn't like the color or didn't like something, or and boy, is he going to be royally screwed, because I'm about to put a giant house right next to the property. Well, Chris, I have until the 5th of September, all right, to get rid of the container or to get it permitted for it. Here's the problem. Immediately when I found out, I went to the I finished my plans, because my plans were pretty much done, but I needed to do the elevations and all that other stuff. So I finished all my floor plans, my elevations. Basically, I left it pristine for the architect. Hired a local architect. So there's a local architect that is doing my work over there, and that way I'm insured that, because it's all about speed, and I wanted to ensure that the process went through quickly. Okay, I checked with zoning, everything's perfectly fine. I could have a container on there during construction, no problem. I can have by the way, they made me get rid of my RV from there within the first 30 days. So I mean, but that's a vacant property, and there's very few places that allow an RV on vacant property. And well, again, it wouldn't have been a problem if the neighbor didn't complain, because there is no way anybody would have seen it. No way. You have to drive up. No way. It's hidden by everything. Anyway, so the container, they gave me till the 5th, and here's the problem. So I started the plans. Then they had an issue with COVID, so one of their guys was out for a couple weeks, one of their architects, so they were a little delayed. It took until September 29th to finalize the plans. And there was still a couple little doors and stuff, but I said, okay, they're minor stuff. So I okayed the final plans with the switching of some doors and some minor stuff, which the architect can, with AutoCAD, I can do it in a heartbeat if they can't. And what they're doing is they sent it right away to the truss department, because that takes about 3 weeks to do all the truss plans. They've just called me 3 or 4 days ago. They had an issue with multi-level. I was going to have the living room be, high up, like 9'4", and then the rest of the house 8 foot. But they said it's either one or the other, because of the design of the house, it won't work with the trusses. And I said, okay, fine, let's make it all 8 foot. I'll save a hell of a lot of money. And basically, I kind of wanted the 9 foot, but I'm not the one cleaning the house, so the boss basically said, I'd prefer it smaller, and hey, I have a happy marriage for a reason. And so it's going to be everything's on track. I checked with the I checked with everything. I checked with zoning. I checked with everything. Now, here's the thing. I also checked with the building department while I was there. That's when they told me it's the neighbor. The building department says they usually take about 3 weeks. Sometimes more, sometimes less, depending on the flow. Now, if everything goes as scheduled, I should get the full plans to submit beginning first week of October. That puts me right at the end of October to the beginning of November. I don't need the stress. It's put it this way. I would love to have the container there, but I don't need the stress. I mean, I got money. I could put it in storage. That's not a big deal. But for convenience sake, and I was trying to save some money, I was going to leave it there and stuff. Now I gotta just deal with it. But it'll be removed. In fact, my next trip up, so it'll be removed a month early. So everybody will be happy, and And I mentioned this yesterday that the for those of you that weren't here, and I apologize for repeating myself. For those of you that were, it's an act of cowardice. It's pettiness. It's childishness. How that man could ever report me like that. I mean, it's just it truly is not to. I don't like people that do things and don't talk to me in person. That's not being a man. That's being a coward. You don't talk to me face to face. You just say, oh no, I gotta. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. Or they didn't even tell me they're doing it. He just reported me. So didn't ask me. I would have been able to, work out something. I mean, but well, anyway, it is what it is. So that's no big deal, but it's and I'm not saying why, but they won't be there in that house for long. So I'm not really concerned with, and I'm not a man of any type of retribution whatsoever. I don't believe in vindictiveness. That's small-minded people. That's small-minded fools that are vindictive and vengeful and things like that. If and everybody knows it. Everybody knows. You guys all agree. If it's a small-minded individual who this is not the movies. This is not the movies. This is real life. And for those of you that have, whether you have a belief system or not, whether you believe in karma, whether you believe in Christ or God, or whether you believe in anything else, or if you're a good moral person, the rule is don't be vengeful. Be forgiving. It's called forgiveness. And but how can you possibly forgive? How can you possibly forgive when you don't bother talking to the neighbor and you just jump the gun and report him? There's not. I forgive. I'll forgive him for doing that because I know that he'll get his. They've all gotten theirs after. Because I've always come out on top. Why? Because I don't know if you guys feel this way. Let me know in the comments. But when you're a forgiving person, it feels good to forgive, to let go of any. It really feels good. It brings you up. So if you ever have somebody that does you wrong, like a neighbor, and you basically just say, I don't care, and blow it off, as opposed to being vengeful. The only thing that vengeance does is either escalate or just plain create a rotten feeling inside. I don't know. Am I wrong? Do you guys feel that way, or are you guys a vengeful types? Just curious. Anyway, let me finish this box up. This is Jason will get here soon enough. So Eloy, how have you been? I haven't seen you in ages, and I'm glad you're here, by the way. I definitely would like to chat later. Oh man. I'll try sending you a message if you're up. And share some news with you and stuff. All right. It's been a long time, so there's lots of stuff. Oh, I'm so happy about the house, though. yeah. I mean, clearly you guys can see I'm annoyed by the neighbor because I can't let it go. It's not that I can't let it go. It's just it hurts. It hurts that that somebody that you've talked to for. I mean, I have basically. I hate it when this happens. Sorry, folks. Trying to readjust my. There we go. My light here. Somebody that I've talked to well since I bought the property, and we talk on a regular basis. And granted, but he's not the guy that you thought he was. Sure, everybody's had that experience, and I mean, he hasn't shown his face to me in 3 months. Hate will destroy you. You're absolutely right, David. Hate will destroy you. There's I've had 1 or 2 instances in my life similar to this. I mean, with friends. There's a buddy of mine, an old buddy of mine. We'll call him Bill because I'll tell you, because he's not likely watching. His name is Bill. I grew up with Bill. I love Bill. Bill. Well, every one of these stories is pretty much the same thing. I love this guy Bill, and I don't know what happened. Sometimes people just are. I'm over communicative, but sometimes I tend to be a little on the aggressive side of talking. You guys probably noticed that, but anyway. So with Bill, I don't know what I did to ever make him angry, but we were the best of friends one day, and then the next day he just shut down. No explanation. No nothing. And those kind of things. I still consider him a friend, but what is a guy to do? I learned a long time ago from the first time that's ever happened to me, and it's only happened to me 3 times. The first time that ever happened to me, I learned immediately let go, because the first time I was a wreck. I was 17 years old, but that friend of mine basically didn't want to hear from me. Now, it was of the opposite sex, but it was still a friend relationship. Didn't want to hear from me, and rather got angry with me. And I call her up, no answer. Call her up, no answer. I mean, this isn't the time. You don't have text, you don't have chat room, you don't have anything. And so what happens? Plain and simple, she does not want to talk, and there's just so many times. And, I call up, and at that time, I spent about a month trying to get a hold of her. She never replied. I found out through some friends that she didn't want to talk to me, and to this day, I feel sorry for her. I really do. But I learned but she taught me the most valuable lesson, which is, and I carried it on through all my relationships, especially my whether it's a girlfriend or a friend or a marriage or whatever. If somebody doesn't value you, don't try to, move on. If they can't see the value, and the chemistry's not there, move on. Particularly in the case, where is my? I'm trying to remember where I placed my top. Well, anyway, let me check it now that let me close it first. Let me check it now that it's open, and I'll check it again when it's closed. I always check it like 5 times. I'm a little paranoid. So, hey, Dennis, how's it going? Surfacing the spoil board. That's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. I will have a guest on my for the next 2 shows. On CNC with Javi, or whatever you want to call it. Javi Unboxed, that show. So on the next 2 Saturdays, I'm looking forward to them. Next week will be a CNC guest. The week after that will be a scroller guest. Yes. No, I'm sorry. Not a scroller, a turner. Turner. Well, he's actually both, so, you know, either one could be. You know, red, green, blue. Red, green, blue. And with this and the power, another box is out the door. Surface the spoil board. That's a beautiful thing, Dennis. I love to hear the things. Anyone know? Good. Wait. Right. Left. The other one. Ow. Okay, folks, let's see. Try all the commands again, because sometimes you move the wires and something goes kaflooey. Hasn't yet, but it can. 3, 5. I'm not going to bring the thing up here. You guys see it's okay. All that tests out. And now I'll check the 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. The voltage checks out. I'm done. Oh, anytime, Dennis. I'm happy to help. I mean, that's what I'm here for, guys. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you guys. I'm here to basically I'm here to be part of the community, but you know, we're all feel free to, Dennis, since you're so intent on I know you wish you bought one of my boxes beforehand, but feel free to, pretty soon I'm going to set up an affiliate program, so feel free to because thing is, recently I bought enough to create. Right now, I've got enough to create 57 boxes. So 10 of them are already spoken for, and there's going to be some more in the future. But basically, I'm going to have quite a few. So and I'm thinking of making some of them kits, but not yet. But either way, I'm going to start an affiliate program. So $10, whatever. But it's an easy $10 if you guys want to refer people. You know, by all means, please do. I could really use the. It's entertaining. I'm getting faster at these things, and it's getting a lot easier. And pretty soon, when I start building the house, I may just, or I may do it. You know, if I accumulate, and the main reason I'm accumulating a bunch of them is because I'm trying to get ahead, and there are times when I'm building the house that I'm going to have to be there for 3-4 weeks, and I'll just bring 5 or 10 of them with me, and have them ready to ship. As far as instead of having to build them, like I said, if I do that if I do that kit thing, well, then they're really not plug and play anymore. But I don't know. We'll see. I haven't made any hardcore decisions yet, other than, you know, because basically I don't know how much time I have available. This is the house, the future. My future is taking up all my time. It's a beautiful thing. And to tell you the truth, I've been slacking off a little while because I bought a new computer and it's a monster, and it's fun. So you may be seeing a lot of new videos from me pretty soon, because this thing can edit a video. My old computer can edit a video. It takes me for a 5-minute video, like 2 hours of video, and I gotta for a 5-minute video, it'll probably take me somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 minutes to half an hour to render it. And then if it's not perfect, I got to render it again, etc., etc. This thing takes about 2 minutes to render a 5-minute video. It's that bad. Yeah, so it's a fun thing. Alrighty. So, well, how much time do I got? Holy cow. It's only 8:36 and I finished 2 of the boxes. Mr. Well, I won't say his name because he hasn't, but because I protect the privacy of my clients unless they're in the chat room saying, "Hey, it's my box," like Jason and Mike did. But Mr. So and So, his box is next. Yeah, it's a shame about bad neighbors, but it is what it is. Another board. Now let's start putting the board together first. I'm going to need... Okay, I've got my fans. Let me go ahead and put my fans in place. Yeah, let's do that first. This is the panel, of course, guys. Alrighty. There's no reason I can't start on this. Okay, so let's start on this. First thing that I like to do on the panel, again, I'm sure you guys have seen all these little things put in completely different orders. First thing that I like to do is put the, obviously I got to solder them. And then, let's see, Z is green. Put the heat shrinks on the back. See, this is the kind of detail and lights, professional work that you guys, appreciate. I don't want to just slap something together. Don't get me wrong. If I was doing it for myself and it was the first one, I'd throw these components on a board and have a nice day. Well, make sure it worked. After a while, I don't know. Sometimes I would, I don't know, to tell you the truth, it's 50-50 shot whether I would actually put something nice together or neaten them up or do a little anal retentive wiring or just leave them there slapped on the board. Okay, so having suggestions for tramming the router. Okay, first of all, my first question is, let's see, X. My first question is, do you need to tram the router? I mean, Peter Posuelo has a very good video on tramming a router. Mark Lindsay has a decent video on it, but Peter Posuelo's is fantastic because I don't know if you already have the tool, and I'm not talking about the caliper tool that costs like $800 or something ridiculous, or $400 or whatever it is. I'm talking about basically get a board, all right, and on a board and drill a quarter 20 screw, a quarter 20 bolt. Stick it and close it off. So now you got a board. Let's say you got a board with a quarter 20 bolt sticking up out of it. On the other side, put another quarter 20 or whatever, or something, or a thin bolt aiming down. The proper amount, or have it full thread so you can adjust it and put a couple nuts on it. Now, this quarter 20 bolt goes in the router. And I don't know if you've seen these before, but this is the standard way to tram it. And then what you do is now you're running it around. Remember, this thing's hanging on the router, and it's running all around. Meanwhile, you drop it down to the table, so this one can touch the table, or maybe a little bit on top of the table, and then go around. Do it at different spots. But basically, to tram the router, I'm not talking about for the surface. You already surfaced it. To tram the router, just do it around in a circle. If you see that the left side is a quarter inch lower than the right, then clearly you got to shim your router. That's the way I would do it, because it's simple and effective, and I don't need to build any contraption. Mark Lindsay has a couple of ways of doing it, but I might have said this before, but I'm not a fan of putting a little slop in to clear the slop. But that being said, it's effective. I mean, it's like I don't know. I can't describe. I'm not. I always like to think of analogies, but okay. So then, good evening, Ryan. So, like I said, take the board, lock it into the router collet through a quarter-inch nut, spin it around, and with on the other end. So now you have a good, let's say, 16 inches, 18 inches from the middle of the router to one side. And it doesn't have to, you don't need a long one with two of them. That's ridiculous, because you only need the one, because this is supposed to be centered. So you spin it around to the other side. Spin it around here. You spin around here. You got 18 and 18. That's a whole 3-foot radius. I mean, obviously, 12 inches if you only have 2 feet on your table. You got to, use your head. And then if it's deeper in the back than in the front, or in the front and in the back, then you have to shim it this way. If not, you got to shim it left to right. And that's as simple as it is. Now, if it's almost identical everywhere, well, actually, you could pretty much tell if you've surfaced your spoil board and you've used something like anywhere between 40% to 75% of your pass, 75% pass, because if you do a 1% pass, you're not going to see any variations in your surfacing. But if you use a nice big pass and a big bit, like for instance, I have an 1.5 inch surfacing bit. If I do an 1.5 inch surfacing bit and go 90%, if that thing's not trammed, you're going to feel the ridges, and that way, in the end, a way around tramming is, like I said, if you're surfacing something, do 5% pass instead of 90% pass. That way, you're not going to see any ridges, or they're going to be so tiny you can sand them off. But anyway, but that's if you want to bypass the thing. If you want to go through the trouble of actually tramming it, Peter Posuelo has a good video out there. Mark Lindsay has one out there. Yeah, I don't know. There might be some others that have the that out there. Okay, where was I? I was on number yellow. So I've got 3 of the heat shrinks on here. Now I'll put the yellow on. And yeah, I think I said good evening, Ryan. Good evening, Ryan. If anybody wants to join me for a chat, I'll be happy to send them a link. It's what is it? Does that say 9:45? Oh, 8:45. Okay, good. Huh? Can't even tell what time it is. 8:45. Okay, so I got plenty of time. We'll probably cut it out at 9:30 today because I want to see if I knock this out and get them. See if I can get them shipped out. At least I'll get Mike. I'll probably get yours shipped out tomorrow, God willing. See that? That's why I always make sure to tug on them and test them. That's all I need is for this thing to see this. This is adjust this. This is sometimes the rosin. You got to be careful when you're soldering. Sometimes when you use not rosin, when you use flux, it deteriorates the. And sometimes when these things have been pushed and back, a copper wire, it'll bend it only a few times and it'll break. So you gotta, luckily, pretty soon, I'm gonna have some help. And well, I'll share with you guys. One of my companies, the guys are clamoring for more hours, and basically, I thought, man, kill 2 birds with 1 stone, and that's why I'm ramping up production, because now all I got to do is give them all the instructions, or actually give my manager the instructions, let him take care of it. That's why I have a team, and so when they're not filling out orders, they can do the. These are very mechanically minded people. They and so they'll likely do the grunt work. The as they were the. Where is that one that was here? Come on, there it is. So with that, all I have to do is check the final production. So, and since their job depends on it, they better do a good job. I'll make sure that they have. The only thing I'll have to do is make some testing apparatus for them, like I have, so they can test it before I get it, and then when I test it, it should be a simple matter of it's done. Sorry, folks. Sometimes I just gotta concentrate because some of these. Come on, you can do it. Some of these connections are very, very close together. And no, I wasn't coughing at the smoke. I was coughing at the actual. There we go. Tough to get at this angle when you have very, very tough eyesight. So yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I'll let you guys know soon enough. I'll have them do a few boxes, and at that point, I expect my turnaround to be immediate. Come on, folks. There you go. You got it. Come on. Finally. Wow, what a pain in the butt that little... you can't even see it. That little sliver was. Okay. And you got to be careful. You can't apply heat on it. I mean, Ryan, you know this. You can't apply heat to it over a certain amount of seconds, or over a few seconds, because then what happens is it melts the pin right off the. You do that once, you do that twice, you do that 10 times, and you finally learn. All right, there we go. I'm going back up on the end of September. I'm going up on the 29th, 28th, 29th. That's when I'm headed back up. I'm looking forward to it. I'll be there probably till the 5th. I'm going to be, I'm getting rid of some bamboo. God willing, Andrew Haig will be there to help me. You guys are absolutely phenomenal out there in the, I'll say this over and over. You guys out there in the real world, you all always happy to lend a helping hand. And some of you that live in Central Florida have volunteered to, give me a hand. Some of you that are very old that live in Central Florida volunteered to just come by and visit. I'm happy to have you for a visit. At the moment, I can't have you for a visit. I mean, I could, but it's just a vacant property, and I'm working on it. So, but eventually, it's not a problem. And it's, like I said, it's a fantastic community that we're a part of. Lots of giving people. Now, where are my black? They're up there. Give me a second, folks. Oh. There we go. Yeah, I'm headed up on at the end of the month. I got a lot of little things to do. I'm cutting some bamboo. I'm gridding the property. There we go. There's another one. See, you just bend it. All you got to do is bend it once and boop, pop. Luckily, none of this has happened. I mean, this doesn't happen during transport. It only happens when somebody opens it up and starts going, "Ew," which nobody's done yet. So it hasn't happened yet. But the problem is these panels. I made them in a batch, and I made all these panels, and then what I did was I stacked them on top of each other, so it kind of bent the wires over, which is fine. It's no problem. But because I had to go back and forth in the property, well, let's just say it's been bent back more than once. There we go. But I always look for the telltale signs. I always move them just in case, because and pretty soon they'll be. I'm looking into a couple of machines that are pretty cool. They're like mini spot welders. I like toys, and I'm not making money on this anyways. It's just about the fun, and I'm having fun. So it'd be cool to have a mini spot welder and go thunk, 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 thunk. I should have done some red oak boxes to match the kits that Dave made. Which kits that Dave made? You mean that board, the one that he has on the board? But yeah, hey, if it's anybody's request, I don't mind doing it. You know, in a little while, I won't mind doing it. Right now, I'm only making one type, but pretty soon, I'm going to be free to do all the custom stuff. So, yeah, it's. I mean, this is not a very marketable product. I'm having fun with it is why I'm doing it. And I said that from the very beginning because, frankly, as far as money's concerned, there's none in it. But I got to spend my money somewhere, and it's fun. Until my woodworking hobby comes alive, this is all I have space for, as it were. Originally, it was a favor for a friend, and then it just took on a life of its own. Well, part favor for a friend, part hobby. There we go. Hobby's hobby. Yeah, that's the beautiful thing about my name, guys. And I will now curse everybody that's listening to this right now. Every now and then, be prepared. Be prepared. Because every now and then somebody says something that sticks in your mind. This is a good one. Sticks in your mind. And you just, like an earworm, can't get out of it, like make room for Javi or something like that. You just can't get that tune, or you can't get that word, or you can't get that. I've got a few moments in my life with a past friend or a current friend or something that you just well, mark these words. Whenever you hear the word hobby, think of Javi. So from now on, for the rest of your life, mark my words. Whenever you see HOBBY, you're going to think of me. Love you guys. I will grant you that earworm. You know, I was thinking, that's a good thing to say next time I get an 11-year-old troll here. Because he's got a lot longer lifespan, and he'll be stuck. And it may not happen every time, but from now on, every now and then, you're going to see, oh, man, I thought of you, Javi, because I saw hobby. That's my hobby. Yeah. So you're welcome, folks. You're welcome. You guys are always on my mind, so I might as well always be on yours. All right, where's my other? There they are, right in front of my face. Let's see, I don't need that much, so let's do this much. Working on a design for infusion for a fan shroud. Oh, that's excellent. You want to come on and talk about it, Ryan, or you just want to? Are you engrossed in Fusion? Yeah, I'm. Oh, that one looks like it's gonna. No, might. Yep, that's definitely not secure. There it is. See, if I see it starting to come off, I pull it off. Mine went blank for a second. I forgot what I was doing. There you go. Everybody's got a favorite hobby. Everybody's got a favorite hobby. Okay, I will need to tin that one. All right, sweet, cool. Hang on. Let me send you the thingy. So we'll welcome Ryan here. See if you've got the wonderful if you've got the noisy computer or the not so noisy computer. All right, let's see here. Ah, there he is. Yep.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab the headphones. Okay, this, and I gotta follow this, and I gotta follow this, and there it is. Sorry, Ryan, couldn't hear you there.
What's going on, man?
Oh, nothing much. How about yourself?
Just kicking and screaming.
Yeah. That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Beautiful thing.
I wish I was good at this Fusion stuff, but I don't use it nearly enough to get good.
Yeah. There are certain things that that like Fusion that I go, nah, not interested. It's like 3D printing, not interested. Tried it, didn't like it. Well, I mean, I'm pretty fluent with Fusion, but not that fluent. Well, okay, so I'm not fluent with it. Yeah, I'm not exactly a fan of Fusion at the moment because, like you, I don't need it.
Yeah, it takes a little bit to remind myself on how to do things, and then I know I'm not doing them anywhere near efficiently.
Yeah. I hate it when you get a bad piece of copper that just doesn't tin properly. And then you got to snip it and start all over again. I don't want to use flux because that rosin is better than flux. If you can avoid flux, but sometimes you can't. But rosin is great because it doesn't I found that flux tends to, if you don't burn it all off, and a lot of people don't, especially for intricate components, you can't burn it all off because by the time you boil it all off, you'll be burning the board or the components or whatever. So if you don't burn it all off, then it leaves a nice little acid, which tends to deteriorate the tin, the lead, the copper, practically everything on your board. So, and that's when you start to get problems with wires breaking and things like that. There we go. Back to normal. Oh, thanks, Mike. Yeah, I don't have my headsets on, so Russ is not going to. I spoke to Russ earlier. He's not going to be able to be on every day, but he's going to try to get on when he can. But if he gets on, he'll be on at least at 9:30. You know, he doesn't want to antagonize the wife by taking time away from her, and I completely get that. Fortunately, mine goes to sleep extremely early, or she's working. I mean, we have our time during the day, which is why you're never going to see me have a show. Well, obviously, I'm not going to have a show around dinner time, but I'm not going to have it during jacuzzi time either. I always relax for at least an hour or two a day.
You got it, man.
You got to. Yeah, if anybody's, yeah, it's funny because sometimes I remember when I was on Hangouts with my friends, pretty practically every night. I'm on Hangouts with them, and it's funny because you only see them. You only see a snapshot. Like we're on it at night from sometimes 8 p.m. until and excuse the noise in the background. I just gotta heat shrink these things. Hope it's not too bad. I go from 8 p.m. to about 10 p.m., maybe sometimes 12, sometimes 2. And I talk with anywhere between when I was, part of those groups that, would talk to each other. I mean, anywhere between 5 and 10 people a night. Same people mostly, but total there's about maybe 150 different people, and then there's the same 5 people, and then there's 5 others that meet once a week or whatever. Anyway, bottom line is when I was in this group, let's see here, I need my white, I need my green, and I need my black. Where's my black? Is up here somewhere. There it is. Okay. Like I said, you only see a pinhole view of what they are, of their life, and you assume, or at least many of us did, unless we tell each other, oh yeah, I gotta go out to work tomorrow, I gotta do this tomorrow, I gotta do this tomorrow. You assume that all they do is sit in front of it's like you. Whenever I see you, by definition, because I'm seeing you on the computer, you're always in front of the computer or the phone, except for 1 or 2 times when I've seen you driving around. So if I didn't know better, which I do, but if I didn't know better, I would think all this guy does is sit around his computer. Which is probably what everybody thinks of everybody else in the internet. But I know you install solar panels. I know you or sell, and and et cetera, et cetera. But uh, um, it's so funny because you know, as much as I tell about my life to our fellow fans out there, there's so much I don't. You know, I don't reveal anything about my work because frankly, it's my business. And goodness gracious, that's a tough. Must have been closed. A tough little plug. There we go. And my day, very rarely do I say anything, but my day consists of being with my kids, especially now that now that one's off to college. I talk to her about 3 or 4 times a week. Phone call. I mean, a FaceTime call. The other one's here, and you know how it is when one's out and one's here. You try to not overcompensate, but I like to spend a lot more time with this one because because you realize how much you miss them. So there's that. But they've got their own lives too. They've got their friends. My wife and best friend is always around. And now, thanks to COVID's done a lot of good things and a lot of bad things. Yeah, it's tough. There we go. I guess I better let me I guess I'll share from the top view of what I'm doing. A lot of people like to see this part. I don't know why. There we go. Okay, so let me grab up and yeah, I don't know if you guys can see that much. I guess you can. Yeah. All right, so I'm working on. I'm just plugging these things in, setting up the power switch and stuff. There we go. Okay, so let me work now on the fans. That sounds like a good plan. Where did I put my? Here it is. As always, make sure I got an incredible amount of cooling because cooling really concerns me. As it should. Right, Ryan?
You would think so. I mean,
yeah.
I have a hard time because mine have never even gotten warm.
Yeah. Nor have mine. I just like overkill. But
no, like I don't have any cooling on mine at all.
Oh yeah. Many people don't, and they don't have a problem. But these don't need any cooling. I mean these steppers that I the DM 420 542s. Yeah, they don't need any cooling. They got their heat sinks. They got their they don't need any type of cooling whatsoever. But I mean, it's all for longevity's sake. That's the only reason I put these things in. Now, the TB6600s, they need cooling, major cooling. Hey, Jason, how's it going? I have just finished. You might want to scroll back. I just finished testing your box. I finished assembling it, testing it. Then I neatened up the wires, tested it, and then I closed it and tested it today. So yours is. It's still got a few more things to assemble the connectors and stuff like. I mean in fact, I have. I only have 4 motors yet. I ordered a whole batch of motors, so I've got another. What did I order? I ordered enough for 20 boxes. I ordered another 80 motors, so I should have them coming in soon. Yeah, I'm getting them at a decent deal, and that way, that way I don't have to raise my price or anything like that. Because frankly, I'm shooting for a kit in the future, and if I can bring my prices way, way, way down, if everything goes as planned, I'll be able to sell a kit with the enclosure. I mean, this is the plan. And it won't be for quite some time. In the meantime, I'll probably have another 30 or 40 Javi boxes sold or whatever. But if I can sell a kit for cheaper than the parts alone, then normally, people would buy one-off parts. I mean, that's a win-win scenario, right?
Yeah.
I figure, what the hey? If I can do that for them and still make like $20, and all I got to do is throw it all in a box, and I can do that.
There you go.
Won't take any time.
Well, I mean, thinking about it though, 80 motors is only what 20 boxes.
No. No. The motors come in. Here, hang on. Oh, it's they're individually boxed.
No. But I'm just like
the large boxes.
Yeah. Overall, though, I mean,
they don't. They
usually.
I usually don't get more than 12 motors in a box.
No. That's not what I'm saying.
What do you mean?
I mean, as a Javi box.
Oh yeah, it's only 20 boxes. It's only 20 boxes.
It's really not all that much, but it does sound like a lot.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, it's so funny because like right now, here, let me pan the camera over. Right now, let me see if I can. Hang on a second. Bear with me, folks. Let me see if I can untangle my. Well, it's a little. That's what I get for doing. I don't know if I can. Yeah, well, you could see the top of them, but you see the I got a whole bunch, down in here. You see these motors?
Yeah.
I've got 2 more layers behind them. So, and it's not that many upside down. It's not that many boxes when you think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, originally I started onesies and twosies and buying, but now I'm at a point where my biggest well, there's 2 big things that prevent me from selling tons of these. The time it takes to build one, and that I'm easily resolving by having my company. I mean,
some guys
the guys that need more work do it. And the second thing is that's something I can't get over it. There's just no market for it. So, I'm just going to build a bunch of them and sit on them because frankly, might as well.
Yeah.
It's not like they're not going to sell.
Right.
They'll sell.
And it's not like they go bad just sitting there.
Mm-hmm. It's not like they go bad. And here's the thing. It's not like the technology ever changes because in this case, This is technology. I tell people all the time, and you know this. This is simple switching technology from the 1980s. With maybe a couple of chips from the 90s and there's really nothing 2000s in here. This is all. I mean, hell, I could take apart one of these right now and show you. Hang on a second. Give me a sec. All right, so this is a standard. Hang on. Always something. Give me a sec. There we go. All right, so this is. I mean, come on. This is a standard. There's nothing in here except a light coating of epoxy. That is really new technology, and that coating of epoxy is really, it might even be lacquer for all I know because it's so thin. But basically, capacitors, come on, that's ancient technology.
Yep.
Small surface mount chips, that's 70s, 80s technology. Diodes, again, more surface mount chips. There's nothing in here. Absolutely nothing. And I know what's on the underside, but there's nothing in here except maybe these connectors, which are 1980s connectors. Again, nothing newer than 1980s. It's not changing. and here's the thing. Even if it does, it'll still work.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you run yours with? What kind of computer do you run yours with?
Me?
Right now? Yeah, you.
Oh, mine's a Raspberry Pi.
Okay, so so you don't even run it with a computer, but
Well,
if you, I mean, people have an XP running these things. They got, I love my little Raspberry Pi. I really do.
Yeah, just
Now I didn't say Raspberry Pi CNC controller. I said Raspberry Pi because I love my Raspberry Pi arcade.
I just got a Pi 4 in the mail the other day.
Oh yeah? Oh sweet. Yeah. That's what I got for my arcade. Isn't it fantastic?
I haven't plugged it in yet.
Oh, it's HDMI ports. It's quick, but it's still. Well, yeah. Let me ask you something. You're a Pi guy. I have a Raspberry 4B, and I have it running my arcade game. Now all the old stuff, all the classic stuff, which is mostly what I play. Mostly I play Robotron, but and I don't play it that often. But when I feel like relaxing, most of the old stuff runs perfectly fine. But there's some of the newer stuff, the Sega Genesis, not Sega Genesis, but some of the PSP and the some of the newer games that are very graphic intensive tend to, hey Bacon Wizard, how's it going? Tend to be they tend to hang or be low. Is there any way to speed that thing up? I mean, is it a memory issue? Is it? I mean,
I think it's the emulator itself on those.
Yeah, that's probably it's the emulator. Yeah, that's what I'm guessing. What a shame. I mean, that's a good guess.
Before on the Pi doing the retro Pi stuff.
And
they were using the 4. They said that the 4 is a lot better than what the other ones had been.
Yeah.
But I guess it's getting better with the graphic stuff, but it's not.
But even so, it's still a little weak. Yeah, I hear you.
But
so
the only thing I don't like about it, so far I haven't plugged it in yet, but
yeah,
I don't like these the micro HDMI ports.
Yeah, they're a bit annoying, but I mean, do you have the cables? Do you have the micro HDMI to HDMI cable?
Yeah, I just have to order one. But like before on the 3,
Yeah.
it's a full size HDMI. Just
Oh,
one.
wow. Yeah, but is it? It's only one though.
Yeah, it was great, but I think these are gonna. I mean, for people that are unplugging them a lot, I think
Yeah.
these will get loose really quick. But supposedly, I guess these are 4K
Yes.
capable.
Yes.
So that's kind of
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Mine is 4K capable. It's fantastic, but it's but like I said, if you're going to be running 4K, just because it's 4K capable doesn't mean it's 4K fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I've got
it is
some
what it.
fun parts for it. I got. I bought some little buck converters.
Look at what I'm putting in that right now.
Yeah. Yep.
Same one. Hang on. Let me. Oh, by the way, here. How much did you get? How much did you pay for those?
I think these were like $4 or $5 for the pair.
Okay, I buy them in bulk, so I get them for like somewhere in the neighborhood of 60 cents each, or I think less. But look what you can buy for $4 or $5.
Oh yeah, with the
this is freaking fantastic. I mean, I don't. I mean, it's not worth. I mean, obviously, I'm trying to save as much money as I can, so these things aren't expensive, and nobody's going to look at them inside. So there's no point in putting these in here. But for power supplies or whatever or anything that you want to play with, this is fantastic. You know.
Yeah. Well,
it's got a voltage readout. You don't need to, like with these, every single one of them, it's a pain in the butt because I got to attach my power supply here and my meter. So it'd be fun to just have,
just be able to set it and
just be able to set it and forget it. Yeah, exactly.
The what I'm gonna do is I've been tearing stuff apart.
Yeah.
I'm rebuilding my controller again.
Are you gonna start selling controllers?
I'm rebuilding my controller.
Oh, okay. Because that'd be cool to see some Raspberry Pi controllers out there.
Yeah, we'll see.
Is it hard? Jason's asking if it's hard to set up a Raspberry to run the CNC.
No.
Not at all, Jason. Not at all.
If I can do it, anybody can. But
you can never look. It's like clamps. You can never have too many CNCs.
Yeah.
That's my philosophy. The question is, do you have space for more CNCs? Is the But other than that, it's a fun thing.
With the Pi 4, you have the USB-C controller or port for power.
Yes.
And I'm trying to just streamline my whole controller. And
right.
So I got this little guy. So you can wire it in.
Yeah. A breakout connector.
Got the USB-C here.
Yeah.
So that's how I'm going to wire one of the buck converters up for this.
Right. Ah, that's perfect.
I don't have the wall wart and everything else inside there.
Yeah, you don't need it.
Yeah. So, and then the other converter will be for fans.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly what I got here. I got one converter here. This one's a 12-volt buck converter set to 12 volts for fans, and I've got another one set to 24 volt for the board. Yeah. And I mean, it's a simple thing. Pretty soon, I'm going to be doing a video, like I said, and I'm going to be making a kit so people can just
why not just use 24 volt fans?
I could do that, but here's the thing: I didn't want to, and I'm considering it, but I was looking at prices, and remember, I'm buying these things by 50 or by the hundreds.
Yeah.
And 24 volt fans, believe it or not, are probably 3 times the price of 12 volt fans. The least expensive brushless fan that I can get.
Yeah. I'm
getting high, I'm not going to get the cheap stuff, but I'm getting the high quality brushless fans with but at a decent price. and I don't know why. So far, I haven't found any, but eventually I may do that. But then comes the other issue, and this is I haven't really checked. Not well. I got a meter. I could check the amperage. In fact, I should. Come to think of it, but fans draw quite a bit of current, and I mean these buck converters are good for 5 amps, so it's not going to be an issue. But I don't want to draw. If there's an issue with the fan, I want it isolated from the controller.
Yeah. Well,
because all of a sudden, what's that?
You can still do the second buck converter. But
yeah. But for that, I'd rather just use one.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm gonna use, it goes this way. Okay, if I'm gonna use, but
well,
you're
the
right.
higher the voltage, the lower the amperage needed too. So
Yes, agreed. Yeah. So that'll be also nice.
Not because I got 24 volt amps for mine.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so these will be the source. That's fine. I need the other. Okay, the blues and the yellows.
So I started a new game that only amuses myself.
Oh, Russ Meadows is here. He might be popping in any second now. A game that amuses yourself. What is that?
Yeah, so I have several Captain America shirts.
Uh-huh.
And
well, that I've seen before.
Yeah.
And what?
Yeah. So now what I've started doing when I'm out in public and I see somebody else wearing a Captain America shirt.
Yeah.
I walk by them and I go, Captain. Just to
see if they go Captain.
See if they respond with Captain. It's so stupid. My wife wants to punch me in the face every time I do it.
That's funny.
But I find it amusing.
It's I don't want to say anything, but in Big Bang Theory, Captain Sweatpants always wore a Captain America shirt.
Oh yeah, I'd never watched that show.
Oh really? You're kidding?
Yeah. No.
Oh man, that is just. Well, how old are you?
45.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So a little different. I mean, as far as the age range of Sheldon's crew, the people that ride it are maybe my age or 5 years older tops.
Yeah.
And they went. The D&D, the modem, all the he said boot him. What the? Huh? Too dirty for the show, but I didn't get why. I mean, with the delay, I'm wondering what the comment was referring to. Russ's comment. You should turn Ryan off right now and never watch. Oh, okay, that's why. You never watch Big Bang. They're all kicking your. Sorry, I didn't mean to make you look bad in front of the crowd. No, you got to watch it. It's hilarious. And the best part about it is every single reference that they make. I mean, maybe not everybody here, but I, for one, grew up like Sheldon in the sense that I did the D&D. I did the all-night gaming. Now, here's the thing. The Wii and all that was a little after my time. But that's because they're filming it now in modern times. But let's see, all the references, not just to the superheroes, to the comic books. I used to go to Sunshine Comics all the time over here. There was a place called Sunshine Comics, and just like the comic book store over there, there was a guy. I could swear that they patterned what's his face. Oh my God, my name, the name dropped off my lips. The comic book head guy. You'll get the answer in a second. Stu. I bet you they patterned Stu off of this guy Joel, who was in charge of Sunshine Comics. The only difference being that his mom was always in the back of the. His mom was very much like Howard. Howard. I mean, that's how it was. Basically, it was Howard, but that looked and acted and probably smelled like Stu, but with Howard's mom in the back of the comic book store. That was our comic book store. And it was just, I mean, I got a buddy of mine called, yes, Russ, thank you, Stuart. And I got a buddy of mine who, I mean, I was a DM for a while. I got a buddy. You know, the best part about one of the beautiful things that I really appreciate in my life, oddly enough, is when I was a kid, when I was in high school, I was into anime and I was into D&D and all that. Well, guess what? My daughter is in an anime club at school. Both of them. Or they both love anime. I don't know if the younger one's in an anime club. Anyway, the older one is into D&D. When she was, before she moved up to college, her and her boyfriend and numerous close friends of theirs. I mean, obviously, I'm not a part of their inner circle. I just see her go out. I'm going out with my friends. Where are you going? I'm going to play D&D. You know, but I lived that life, and it's so funny because, you know, when I was growing up, I mean, my parents are Cuban, exiled. They had a completely different life than I had growing up. Not completely, but yeah, pretty much completely. My mom in her early teenage years lived on a my grandfather's a millionaire, and she had a bunch of horses, she had things. And good evening, Bart, how's it going? And they had all different I mean, it was a rich farm, basically. But and then they went from all that to nothing, you know. And their youth was it was in a different country, so it was completely different from my typical Americana youth, or actually my typical Nerdvana youth. Because clearly not everybody has it. See, I didn't have the. I'm not the sports people thing guy. I mean, I on occasion would watch games. I did have tickets to the Dolphins when they played in the Super Bowl. I did watch the 72 game on TV. That was fantastic. The year, and nobody's done it since. Nobody ever mentions that anymore. You know? Everybody talks about football, but everybody's, you know, nobody has had and I don't know if it's possible anymore, but nobody's had a winning season where they won every single game in the season like the Dolphins, at least as far as I know.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not a football guy, so I don't know. What?
Patriots did it a couple years ago until they got
Did they? Well, wait a second. Did they win all the games, or did they?
Yeah, they won everything except for the Super Bowl.
Well, and the Jets did the same thing. The Jets did the same thing before that. So they won all of them except the Super Bowl. 2 teams so far, possibly 3, have done that. But, well, not all of them. We took the bowl that year. Well, somebody had to, right?
Somebody's
Okay,
got
so alrighty, now all I gotta do is just a lot more plugs, but basically this one tomorrow I'm gonna knock out these 3 and one more, so I'll have 4 going out tomorrow in the mail. That's a beautiful thing. That way I'm all caught up except for 6 more that were just recently purchased. So I'm just not going to worry too much about them because I've got time.
When did that show start? The Big Bang Theory.
It was on for 10 years and it
Yeah,
finished recently. So I think it was somewhere around 2005, 2006, something like that.
yeah. I think the main reason why I didn't watch it, like, for a
What have
decade.
yeah, what have they done since? I wish I knew because as soon as Coach Shula retired, I stopped watching them. What were you saying, Ryan? I'm sorry.
The uh, for
Big
for
Bang.
about before I met my wife
Uh-huh.
and we moved in together, there was a good 10-year span or so where I didn't have TV.
Right.
So anything that started in that time frame,
Yeah.
I didn't watch it
Yeah.
because I, it was part of that was during my single days, and
Yep.
I'd go to a bar on Thursday nights just to watch some TV.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
But yeah, it
That's
was
hilarious.
yeah.
Yeah, I am pretty much a TV aholic in at least I used to be, obviously. TV's changed. And well, the whole thing has changed. Now, everything I enjoy is either old TV, MASH, Hogan's. I was watching 5 or 6 Hogan. I was binge watching Hogan's Heroes again. I'm binge watching all the different old sci-fi show. Not old. They're not old. They're just Babylon 5 is not old, but when you figure it's 20 years old, so I guess it is a
Yeah.
little old. But I don't consider it too old. But anyway, yeah, binge watch those shows, and I watched Warehouse 13 recently. I know Russ out there is watching some Firefly, or at least he was, and that's always fun. I like Firefly. There's a lot of classic sci-fi shows out there, and but the classic shows. I mean, the other day I was. Here's another rabbit hole I got stuck down the other day, and this is just during the day. In the mornings, what I do is I spend about an hour or two just watching TV. That's my wake up procedure. Just to I get up out of bed. I know a lot of people like to have coffee. I just sit in front of the TV and just wake up with stuff in the TV and YouTube. So I'll get on YouTube. I'll check out a suggestion or two, but most of the time I'll decide for myself. And what was on the other day, oddly enough, was Sherwood Schwartz talking about Gilligan's Island, and so I watched that whole documentary and that whole and then I moved into Get Smart, and then I mean the documentary of Get Smart, not the actual Get Smart. I have all the episodes. I just it's fun. So like I said, at the past week, that's what I've been watching is documentaries on old shows. Like for instance, the big one that I started watching is oh god, my mind went blank. Oh, Carol Burnett. Yeah, there's different. Vicki Lawrence was talking about the big blooper reel, that big blooper thing. It's the first time she ever opened her mouth and it was a big one. I mean, you've seen that, haven't you?
I'm sure I have.
It's the one with the Mama's Family when Tim Conway starts describing an elephant with the trunks together and all that. And it's I mean, the procedure. Basically, if you don't know out there, and if you're familiar with the Carol Burnett show, but you don't know the story of the they would always do a rehearsal. Then they would do 2 shows. And the first show, if they get it right, then they can do anything the hell they want on the second show. And usually the second show, they try to make everybody tries to make everybody laugh or whatever. So that's why it was all those crazy antics. But the best part was when, so in that particular one, Tim Conway he told a different scene every time. And so Carol Burnett had told Vicki Lawrence, look, it's going to be a different elephant thing, Tim Conway. Just, don't laugh, try not to, try to remain okay. So don't crack a smile. Now, Vicki did not crack a single smile. And she was a little bit pissed at Carol Burnett because Carol Burnett was losing it, and well, not pissed at her, but I mean, she was like, she's the one that told me, and now I'm, well, so then at the end of this whole thing, and Carol Burnett's trying to go, it's your turn, or I forgot what the actual thing was, but she said something to her, but she couldn't raise her head up because she was smiling. Meanwhile, Dick Van Dyke is sitting on the opposite end of the couch. They're just sitting there, and Tim Conway sitting on Tim Conway on one end, and Dick Van Dyke on the other end, on the arms, and and so there's just a hair of silence and perfect timing, and Vicky goes, "That asshole finish yet?" Oh, no, Harvey Korman wasn't in that one. Harvey Korman was not in that one. Or Harvey Korman and Lau Wagner were great, but they were not in that one. That one is just you'll see Tim Conway, you'll see Carol Burnett, Vicki Lawrence, and then Dick Van Dyke, and it was just so funny. Yeah, that's right. She said, "That asshole through yet?" That's all she said, and that's it. Everybody was on the floor. And meanwhile, Vicki Lawrence straight as an arrow, but it was funny as heck, funny. Oh man, that was just pardon my French, I'm just quoting, but that's funny. Alrighty. So, oh yeah, I keep turning it over, but I haven't connected the board yet. That would be a good thing. Alrighty, folks, let's connect the board. So I will do my little set this here and start testing wires to see which plug is which. Okay, so yellow. Two. Yeah, and now, as usual, I got to open up. See, these are the time-consuming things that I'm. Yeah, the whole bit was ad-libbed. It was awesome. Have a good one, David. Check you later. All right, so let's see what we got here. This would be input number 2, I2. There we are. So you're working with Fusion now?
Yeah, trying to.
3.
It's slow going.
What are you designing?
A fan shroud for my controller.
That's right. You said that. Oh, that's cool. So that's one advantage. Well, I mean, if you have it's for your 3D printer or for CNC.
No, for my 3D printer.
Yeah, so that's one advantage. I mean, I've got a CNC, but it's just I can't stand it, and it's not a great quality CNC. But it's one advantage you have is you can build your own case for it.
Yeah.
Have you already done that yet?
No, not for my printer.
No, for the hang on, sorry, thinking and chewing gum at the same time. For the Raspberry Pi.
Oh yeah, I have a case for the Pi that I made. Yeah.
Did yours come with the with the little heat sinks?
I think it did. I can't remember.
That's a great little tool.
Or the old one, I don't remember on the old one. The new one, no, it doesn't have any heat sinks.
Oh, the new one didn't have the heat sinks yet. I got when I got the kit for the I ended up buying the full blown, with the heat sink and everything else because I figure, well, I don't know if it needs it or not, but might as well spend money, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't that much of a difference.
Yeah, they're cheap to get if you want.
Okay, Pagan Wizard is looking at Bulkman 1500 by 1500 CNC. Well, I'll have to take a look at that. But in fact, let me take a look at that. Let's see. I see a bunch from WorkBee, but I don't see. Here it is. Bulkman 3D Store WorkBee. Oh, WorkBee Open Builds. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so it is. I don't know. I'd have to take a look into those because a lot of those Chinese ones are pretty wimpy. I mean, I don't know what to tell you about them. I've always railed against them because they're just, they are what they are.
Go wrong with the patent CNC.
No, exactly. You can't. There's a huge difference between that and that. So, number three. Can't go wrong with it at all. There are 50 people, 43 of which are running a Gatton CNC with a JaviBox. And, well, okay, 43 of which have purchased a Gatton CNC and a JaviBox. I can't say they all have completed them, but everyone that has is extremely happy with it. So it is what it is, And pretty soon there are going to be some others out there with JaviBoxes. Oh, there's one guy with an Avid with a JaviBox, and he's very happy with it. One guy actually, and I'm almost embarrassed to say it, with an X-Carve and a JaviBox. But he's very happy with it. I don't know who'd be very happy with an X-Carve, but I'm not saying anything. Let's see. Number one. Yeah. Look, I said it before and I'll say it again. It depends on what you do. It really depends on what you do. If your hobby, I mean, if you're 4, if you are looking to do little tiny engravings and plaques and stuff like that, you don't need anything more than an X-carve. If you don't have the skills to build one, well then you're going to be spending a lot more money. But if you have the need, and then again, then it's like many people have bought an Avid, which is probably the next. I would say the Avid is probably one of the best bang for your buck build it yourself unit, because it's like high end, but again, it's expensive. If you want something a little smaller but higher quality and you're afraid of building something, then I'm very happy with my Cam Master, and I'll swear by it. And I've run my Cam Master on a JaviBox as well, but I wouldn't recommend a JaviBox for the Cam Master by any means. Just because it can run it doesn't mean it's great for it. What it comes with, although considerably more expensive, if you're going to buy a Cam Master, you better be prepared to spend the money, because what comes with it is a Lead Shine MX4660, and oh my God, it's just a series of really high end relays that be fantastic. I'd love to build a bunch of those machines, but I'd love to work with that kind of electronics. But frankly, those electronics break the bank if you're talking about bulk. What I'm buying now, I don't need more than $10,000 to buy a bunch of these things in bulk, and then I can, it's a small price to pay. It all comes back. Let's see here.
Eventually.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, you want to be smart about it too. If I was in, like I've said it before, if this was my business, I'm selling more and more, and I'm enjoying it. But there's going to come a time where I just going to stop, because I'm really not. I mean, this is not my thing. This is my fun time. I don't know how much longer I'll have fun time, but many of you out there understand, because many of you out there have the same the same type of, sorry, I'm doing two things at once here. The same type of character. And what I mean by that is, I know, because I've spoken to quite a number of you, that you're not, many of you are, say, entrepreneurs. You don't stick to one thing for a long time because, frankly, you learned it, you're bored, you move on. And that happens with a lot of us. Hobbies are a different thing, but I'm interested in this. I've always been interested in electronics, so that's going to never change. And of course, why did I wire the Y where the X is? That's not good. Let's change that, shall we? Yeah, I just wasn't paying attention to the colors. Alrighty, so there we go. +5. Not that it matters. The one I wired was +5, and it's +5 throughout, but still, I don't I don't need the motors running in the wrong place. I think pretty soon I'll be ready. I'll be just about ready for probably. Oh, look, I heard a beep. Look at that. I actually heard you this time, Russ. Hey, Russ, how long you been waiting out there?
Oh, I just you snapped me up right away, man. I didn't have to wait. Hold on, let me turn off the other one.
Yeah, you got it.
All right. Yeah, I was watching the other show and I said, "What the hell? Let them see me in all my dirty glory."
Yeah.
I've been out chopping tree limbs.
Nobody
till
cares.
after
That's
dark.
a beautiful thing to be. That's a beautiful
Yeah.
thing to do.
Oh man! Just when I jump on here, she says, "Pork chops are done."
Oh, well, so go eat some pork chops. We don't care watching you eat. I'm going to eat in a little while anyway. Now's my dinner. That was my dinner time. Now it's going to be my midnight snack time early.
Okay.
And then comes my midnight snack time.
Oh yeah, well you can't give one. You can't give it up.
No, absolutely. I think I believe it. Yeah, I do. I actually still have some, and I'm looking forward
Ice
to
cream.
it now. Now that you mentioned food, I'm looking forward to the. No, I got pasta with fettuccine alfredo with chicken that I made yesterday, and it's from an old, not old, but 1 day old barbecue chicken that I made from the day before. So and today I had this morning it was fantastic. This morning I had fajitas, right? I make these quesadillas is
Yeah.
I take a tortilla, one of those,
Oh yeah. I'm more
tortilla.
familiar with quesadilla.
All right, get a tortilla, sprinkle some Jack and Kobe Jack and
Yeah.
cheddar, and then chunks of chicken,
Mm-hmm.
more Jack and cheddar. Oh, I forgot the most important part. Butter both sides of the quesadilla and toast them. I mean, toast them either on the grill or in the oven till they get till it's sizzling and it toasts the bread. Then
I'm coming. I've got to go get the pork chops, man. You already made me hungry.
Okay.
All right, I'll be right back.
Tortilla, cheese, chicken, cheese, tortilla, sandwich in the press, and you're good. That's the way to do it. Oh man, I'm like, now I can't decide whether I want a chicken fettuccine alfredo or chicken tortilla.
There you go.
But what I do know is that in about 2 wires, I'm done with the this particular project, or rather, this section, the wiring of the board. Yep. The only thing I need to do now is solder 2 wires together. No, 6 wires together, and then assemble. Avengers assemble. Okay. It's almost that time, so stuff for my dinner, and I'm making Pagan Wizard hungry. Yeah, it's it's a delicious meal. Chicken fries for dinner. Pretty good. All right, so now I will take and get this thing out of the way. And move this thing. And now comes the fun part. Let's see. arrange this in such a way and take my alrighty. Okay. Now for the fun part. It's all fun. Okay. Slide this in, don't pinch anything, and done. Let's see, what do I got here? Oh, yeah, I still have to put these connectors on. But you know what? I could do that tomorrow morning. Holy cow, I can't believe it. I've finished 4 today.
Nice.
Yeah, you're not kidding. So, I mean, it's a culmination of all the, it's like you do a little bit of work, 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 and then all of a sudden there's like 10 of them ready to be finished, and that's exactly what I was doing today, is working on some of the 10 that I have finished. And this be one of them.
Well, fellas.
Yep.
Pork chops, 1/8 thick. They taste outstanding.
And folks, I am going to go ahead and shut her down for the night because I'm getting hungry myself. Hang on. that and the fact that, frankly, it's 10 o'clock. So everybody have a wonderful evening. And I will catch you. Wow, what's Russ doing with the blinky blinky? That's weird. Hang on a second. Okay, that. Hang on a second. I don't know what's happening there. Something weird is happening. Oh, good night. Anyway, so I guess that was really strange. I had everybody blinking for a second there. Now everybody's gone. But anyway, good night, everyone. Have a wonderful evening. And oh, there we go.
Better? Oh.
Yeah, it's still blinking. That's weird. Hang on a second. Nope, that's weird. Well, anyways, good night, all. Oh, wait. He's okay. Give me a second. He might be back. No, he's not back. I don't know. I will catch you guys. Hang on a second. Let me try something different. No, that didn't work. Ah, that worked.
Oh, hell. What was the problem?
I don't know. It's something with StreamYard, I think, or with the stream, because I switched to you see this view, and this view works. But I don't know why. It kicked everybody off, including myself, but it left the stream on, and I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I'm trying to do the good night real quick because I can't stand long goodbyes. So yeah, as Mike says, it's got to be on Russ's end. So I will see you guys all tomorrow. You guys have a wonderful day, and let's see. Tomorrow's Friday. I don't know if I'll be on tomorrow. I might take the night off and leave the Saturday. We're going to have Mark Lindsay here, so prepare for some CNC questions.
Yeah.
Some vector questions, or if you just want to get to know Mark, many of you listen to him already. If you just want to get to know him, ask random questions about him, now's the time. So I will catch y'all on the flip side. Let me get clear of my button here. And so good night. See
Good night,
you Saturday.
everybody.
Now it's not letting me figures. Wow.